Today on What It's Like, we are back at the Gilmore Auto Museum to take a look at the Model A building. For those who have never heard of the Gilmore Auto Museum, it's located in Hickory Corners, Michigan, located between Hastings, Michigan, and Kalamazoo, Michigan. It is on a 90-acre campus, 14 buildings, 400 cars on exhibit. There's honestly something for everybody to do there, even if you're not a car person. Gilmore hosts a bunch of events throughout the year, like ride in a vintage car or learn how to drive a Model T. Every Wednesday between the months of May and September from 5 to 8, they have a cruise in. For more information on the activities listed, click the link below after the show. So the moment you walk in, you see this beautiful 1930 Ford Model A Cabriolet. Look at this. I've never seen anything like this. So I guess in theory, if it rains, you put this top over top of the people in the back so they don't get wet. Super interesting. There are 3 cars in this entryway. We've already talked about the 30 Cabriolet. This is a 1931 Ford Model A Victoria Coupe. I absolutely love this green pinstriping. It really sets it off. But my favorite car in this room is the 1929 Model A Town Car. I love the fact that it doesn't have a roof over half of it. This is the only one that I've ever seen. I haven't seen another one outside of here. But there's all kinds of memorabilia. Look at these binoculars. That's cool. Look at this. Wall of tools. All the different air pumps. All the different jacks. Jack stands. All Model A parts. There's grills behind the counter and rims. Tires. Look how wide these are. They're like bicycle tires. Here's a Model 8 block on a lathe. I don't know if that's showing a representation of it boring the cylinders out or honing the cylinders. I can't see what the attachment is. This is a 1931 Model A telephone truck. Getting in the driver's side would be quite an issue. You have to move all of this stuff out of the way. Probably just get in the passenger side and slide over. They actually took the door handle off this side, I guess, so you don't get in. This is a 1928 Ford Model A Special Coupe. Do mannequins freak you out? They kind of freak me out. So this is a 1930 Baldwin Gleaner Model A engine. Right next to it's a Johnston Model A marine engine kit. So this was a boat motor. Smith Model A air compressor. So there's the air tank at the back. Look at that lighting setup. Could you imagine walking down streets where the lights were like this? Now I got cheap plastic stuff everywhere. So check this out. This is a Huxter. This is a 1931 AA Ford Huxter. It's the long wheelbase variety too, which are super hard to find. You can tell if it's a long wheelbase because so this one's a long wheelbase. I'm trying to find one that's not. This is a long wheelbase. And that's actually the first long wheelbase AA paddy wagon I've ever seen. This is a really long wheelbase. School bus. So just check out a 30 school bus. How cool would that be to ride in this? And this is a 1930 AA 32 passenger school bus. Huff and Puff #1. Look at how it's framed. It's all wood framed. It's all wood ceiling. It's like a giant woody wagon inside there. This is a 1930 AA Wrecker. It's a 1928 AA fire truck on the other side of the creepy mannequin. It's Dalmatian driving it. This is a 1931 Ford AA paddy wagon. So there's Jailbird Louie sitting in the back there. (1931) Ford Model A Deluxe Phaeton. This one's right-hand drive. There's plenty to do. There's plenty to see here. Lots of memorabilia. Old schoolhouse. That's crazy. This is a 1930 Model A panel delivery. So they made the A's, and that's the standard size for the Model A. The AA is over here. If you wanted a bigger wagon to deliver stuff in, you'd get this one. As you can see, this is pretty small in comparison. This is a 1931 Ford Deluxe pickup truck. This truck is apparently one of one. Look at how the bed is designed. Notice it angles down. I think that's what makes it one of one. See how it's all angled in? So look, they even have the Model A in Russian. That's very interesting. I didn't know that these got exported there. A's around the world. So, British Model A. And that's what this is too. This is also Britain, Great Britain, and the Model A. There's even an airplane in here. It's a Sky Scout airplane powered by a Ford Model A engine. I was looking at this. This would be terrifying to fly. Look how far back you sit. Just look at these big pages that you can look at with different pictures of Model A's. There's all kinds of different advertisement pieces. Like, I would love to have one of these hanging in my shop eventually. So nice. This is what the women would wear back in the day. It's 1931 dress, that is. Here's some 30s shoes and a wig. Different accessories that women would use. Different shades. Different straps, different fasteners. All the different types of carburetors that were used. More carburetors. And more carburetors. I love how that shows how everything works. This is a gentleman's suit back in the 30s, 1931 Palm Beach suit. Rustless steel. This is a 1931 Ford Model A Deluxe Phaeton. This is a 1931 Ford Deluxe Blindback Sedan. I wonder why they called them blindbacks. The window looks pretty big. Over here, this is a Model A made out of wrought iron. Isn't that cool? 1931. (1931) Model A convertible sedan. Here, this is a 1930 Model A Deluxe Roadster. And notice it has how much this car would cost in 1930. It's a 1929 Model A taxi cab. Look at how the meter's put in there. There's a lot of trust that goes on with that, because somebody could just sit in the back and just leave. You know, you're on the other side of the car. Look, this one's got the dual spare tire rack in the back to carry 2 spare tires and the trunk. This one's a 1931 Ford Model A roadster pickup truck. I'm not sure if that's a Ford color. I had a Volkswagen that was painted the same color as that. It's not showing up on the screen, the blue, the shade of blue that is. The best thing about this museum is nothing is roped off. You can walk up to anything, like this 1929 Ford Model A station wagon. You can walk up and see these cars for what they were. See all of the intricate wood detail. This one's got 3 rows of seats. How about that? This is a 1928 Ford Model A business coupe. I mean, that's pretty fancy for a business coupe, especially with all this ornateness. Look at all of these horns. They all have different dates of when they were used. This is a 1929 Ford Model A Roadster. And it's parked next to a 1929 Ford Model A Business Coupe. Notice this one has porthole windows. I don't know if this was added after the fact or if they did this back in the day. That's really cool. Also, check out the different interior material. This one has a trunk. This is a 1928 Model A Ford, but not just any Model A. This was Thomas Edison's Model A. So how cool is that? To see an automobile that was once driven and owned by an icon. Built by an icon for an icon. Different materials. And it's hard to get a full grasp of everything that's going on in here. Lots of stuff going on. Lots of memorabilia up on the walls with pictures and everything. Like, here's a picture of, it's a sea of faces at Chicago, December 2nd, 1927, as the greatest automobile sensation of all time made its debut in the 1928 Ford Model A. That's how many people came and saw it. Just wow. Things are just different now. You could sit and simulate Model A, how to start a Model A. 1928 Ford Model A light duty truck. I have never seen another truck like this, with the windows like this. And notice it does not have a back to it. Super interesting. Here's a Model A chassis, essentially. Look at how high it just sits. Great ground clearance. This thing has amazing ground clearance. Look how high it is. And that's why there isn't a transmission tunnel, because it just sits up so high. So here's a Model A cutaway, so you can see the inner workings of the Model A inside the generator, inside the starter, inside the engine itself with all the cylinders exposed. So here's a little model representation of what an assembly line, or how an assembly line would function. Look at how it has the chassis there, and up here it'll tell you what's going on. But I just love how it's really cool how they have everything laid out there, and how the bodies come up on top. Different fender assembly and hood assembly, and then out the other side is a finished car. Out of all of the Model A's in this building, which one was your favorite? Mine, that would be really hard. I really like the double A paddy wagon. I really like the bus. I don't think you could go wrong with any Model A that's in here, really. But what are your favorites in the comment section below? Now it's time for Name That Tune. First person to get both the name of the band and song title will have their comment pinned to the top of the comment section. Thank you all for coming out and watching this. If you'd like to get in touch with me, shoot me a comment in the comment section below, or check out our Facebook group that correlates with this YouTube channel. If you don't have Facebook and would like to contact me, send me an email. All of that information will be linked in the description below. Just know I appreciate all of the support. And until next time, toodaloo!
Bye-bye!